I really meant to talk about the Afrobarometer results, but something else catches my interest, and I would rather reserve the Afrobarometer for later on during our midday. And right now, I want to talk about the amputee team, the Black Challenge of Ghana. Right, so the news here is that the national team, the amputee team, they currently are in Mexico, and they're taking up their first match today. But interestingly, they had to travel and arrive in Mexico this dawn, and they have to get ready to play their game today. How amazing that is, right? So the team, which is made up of two goalkeepers and 7 players, there's too much about it, and there's too much problem up here, and so I can't do this alone. I have been joined in studio by my colleague, sports journalist, Baba Tando. She will give us a bit more insight into this and what exactly is happening with the amputee team. Hello, Baba. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm sure you sound so confused. I mean, seeing all of this information.
I sound, I look. Tell me, what exactly is going on?
All right. So, like you rightly said, the Black Challenge, they're actually in Mexico at the moment. But before I even go on to talk about their problems, I think that they are running away from their own problems. They are running away from their own shadows. You know, you have this problem of funding, okay? We already are fighting government, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the National Sports Authority, for neglecting the least, what we now term the least financed sports. At first, we used to call them the lesser known sports, but now they say least financed sports. I mean, you have all of these problems with funding, and then where are you to talk? Who should speak for you? You are supposed to speak on your own problems. You're supposed to tell, we are your mouthpiece, if you want to put it that way. So you talk to us, and then we send out the message for you. But when it comes to giving out information, it is so difficult. I don't know what it is, whether it has to do with politics or what. I really don't know. But what I have gathered here is that the team, you know, how many, you're not two sports, I mean, you're not an enthusiast in sports.
You can't draw conclusions, you ask your question.
But how many players make up a team for a game?
At least I know 11
men on the field.
We have 11
okay.
So
the 11 players, the team that is even traveling to Mexico is not even up to a starting 11.
So let me find out the game they are going to play. Is it the kind of game that demands less than 11 on the field?
This is a World Cup, like the Black Stars going to play Germany or America or anything. So they need 11 men.
Football, they're going to.
They need 11 men on the field of play to start a game.
And how many
But now, it is 9 players who have traveled from Ghana to Mexico, and the 9 players are made up of 2 goalkeepers who cannot play together at the same time, 2 goalkeepers and 7 players. So I don't know what their strategy is going to be. Their coach is Ali Jara, former Ghana international.
Okay.
Ali Jara. I don't know what strategy Ali Jara is going to adopt as to whether he's going to make the 2 goalkeepers start so that one will play as a normal player, and so one keeps the post or something. I really do not know. But you see, the tournament started about 2 days ago. That's on Monday. And Ghana is now going to play their first game. They are playing their first game today.
No, let me get it right. It started 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And they arrived in Mexico this dawn.
Yes.
So it means they did not take part in the opening ceremony.
Oh, you see, this is not the first time that is happening like this. Okay?
With them?
No. This is not the first time.
Okay.
I think 4 years ago, the World Cup was in Argentina. They arrived 3 days after the tournament had started. Yes.
You mean the Black Challenge?
Oh yeah, the Black Challenge, yes. The Black Challenge, yes.
Why do we attach very little importance to them? Is it that they don't show seriousness enough?
It is a case of all the least financed sports in Ghana. Okay, it is not just a Black Challenge. For instance, I know a federation that hasn't taken any funding hasn't gotten any funding from government or from the National Sports Authority in the last 10 years.
Wow.
There are certain federations that haven't received any funding in the last 5 years, and it goes on and on and on and on, so that everything is concentrated on football. We are hearing, I mean, forgive me, but I mean, when it is red, it is red. When it is yellow, it is yellow. I would not know how to say it in any other way.
Okay.
You tell me that $2 million is 2 million Ghana cedis has been used for the under-17 team to qualify for an African Youth Championship. How much did we spend on the Black Stars to qualify for the World Cup in Brazil?
Hold it there. I have been joined online by Dennis Moore. Dennis Moore is a chair for the.
He's actually a member of the Ghana National Paralympic Committee.
Great. So Dennis Moore is online now. Hello, Dennis. Thanks for joining us here on News Desk.
Thank you so much.
I believe you're familiar with the issue we're talking about, the Black Challenge and their issues. Why did they have to arrive in Mexico this morning?
Oh, yes, certainly. They've arrived in Mexico, and we're just hoping and praying, just like you are saying in the studio, that everything will really go on well for the team. But I think I've been following your discussion so much, and I'm so much happy with it. And clearly, it looks like media persons in this country, we are all abreast with what the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and of course the Sports Authority should be doing, to uplift the image of the other lesser-known sports. I think it's so saddening. It's so saddening. This is about the fourth time, the Amputee national team are facing such circumstances, and it's becoming recurring, and it's amazing. Nobody from the highest ministry, nobody from the Sports Authority, and not even government officials who were brought into office to make sure that they look after other sports are even talking about it. But as I speak to you now, all attention is on one person, Avram Grant, who is coming to, siphon government money, $50,000 a month. So you see, for me, I wouldn't want to get so much passionate, but let's talk about the issue. There are a few problems with the Amputee team, exactly. As I speak now, we are in court. The one personality who actually took us to court, who took the association to court. The case went to court because they wanted to restrain the team from going to Mexico. That was the intention of one person who had wanted the team not to travel to Mexico. So he went to court claiming that the team is his and that the federation is his, so the association cannot represent the nation, which is quite interesting, But I think I really thank so much that the judge who sat on the case was so much, I'm in love with Ghana, and she says Ghana first, so that when we come back from Mexico, then the federations and association will be fighting over. So I give kudos to the judge who really sat on the case, to make sure Ghana really represented, of course, in Mexico. But then, Rashida, if I could quickly summarize this issue regarding the problems, affecting Amputee, I think I would have to blame we ourselves also in the NPC. And of course, the NPC is a huge body, just like the Ghana Olympic Committee. So
hello, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Yes,
hello,
I think you're going somewhere else at all. The issue here is that the Amputee team are playing today, and they had to arrive in Mexico today. And worst of it is that we have just 9 players and 2 goalkeepers. What are they going to do on the pitch when 11 players are supposed to be on? That's the issue we want to talk about here, please.
Oh, okay, yes, Rashida, I think that 7 players are supposed to be on the pitch, not 11. It's 7.
Okay.
It's 7, yeah. So the 2 extra players are with them, for substitution's sake. But as for the team who are supposed to play on the pitch, they are set for them. It's 7. So for that, they have it. But we should
so there is no case of somebody during play is injured, and so there has to be replacement. And I hear the captain was dropped. We have the coach, just the coach, his assistant, and the secretary. For Christ's sake, is that how a team travels?
Yes, so to speak, we have the core of the team over. That's 7 players and then 2 extra players. But I think one disadvantage is that we have got, let's say, about 4 or 5 extra players on the bench who could be be substituted. But in this case, because of financial difficulties, only 2 extra players were taken, in addition to the 7. So you see, it's a problem for the team. So when you ask me, of my opinion, whether Ghana can really bring the cup to Ghana, for me, it's a big no. We are simply unprepared. Simply unprepared because...
So moving on, how can we ensure that we are prepared? Because we had so many years to prepare for this day.
That's my dear sister. The Ministry of Youth and Sport should be up and doing and make sure that money meant for such World Cups. Look, this budget thing was given to the government over 8 months ago. 8 months ago. So the Ministry of Youth and Sport cannot tell me that they were not aware that the team was traveling 8 months ago. So it looks like it's about the passion that we have for the rest of the lesser-known sports. But at the levels if the team will be struggling with checks, with flights, with tickets, then it tells you that as a nation we are not prepared at all to cater for the other disciplines. That's the whole issue. We need to be more pragmatic. We need to be more sincere and passionate to support the other sports and to know that yes, we have about millions of people into other sports. Nobody can play football. Not all this alley can play football. So the rest can do other sporting disciplines so that we can curb HIV/AIDS, robbery, prostitution, and stuff like that. This is the major preoccupation. That is why the Ministry of Youth and Sport is there. They are there for such causes and not only for football. That's my cause. So this is what we can do as a nation to make sure that such instances will never occur. In the coming, Rashida. It's simple. Those in government should make sure they are they are on course to support the purpose for which they were brought into office. Period, Rashida.
All right, Dennis, thank you. But we do hope that it won't just be talk, and for 8 months you've been talking and waiting for this problem to happen. We will definitely pursue this. We really need to get to the bottom and hope that another game will not come for this same problem to repeat itself. Rashida, quickly.
Like I was telling you before, it happens, like, and then it's also reiterated what I was saying. It happens across board, or apart from football, and even not football, apart from the Black Stars.
Yes.
No other priority again. You understand? But I mean, the Ghana Football Association will come and dispute this. I understand.
As usual.
As usual. But then, what happens to the Ghana Cycling Federation? What happens to the Ghana Taekwondo Association? What happens to the Swimming Association that brings us medals? What happens to the Ghana Athletics Association? These associations submit their budgets to the National Sports Authority every other year, and it goes to government and to the Ministry of Youth and Sports and to all the bureaucratic processes it has to go through. The budget does go through all of it, but at the end of it all, when the time comes for certain things to be done, for instance, for them to go for this particular tournament, then you say that you have exhausted your budget. For crying out loud, then why do they need to submit a budget to you every year?
No, so the budget is submitted. Who released the funds and
well,
what will the funds
it has to go through what? How do they call it? It has to go through the National Sports Authority first. The Sports Authority will then submit it to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Then it goes to the government. It is so long. But how is it that the Football Association is able to secure $3 million on flight to Brazil in a matter of how many months? How is it that the Ghana Football Association gets 2 million Ghana cedis to prepare an under-17 team for a tournament in Niger, and then get eliminated even at the end of the day for age whatever? How is it that they are able to make all these monies, and then when it comes to one team that leaves less than half of what one player earns as an appearance fee for a World Cup, when it gets to that time, they don't have the money? $28,000, Gladys, was all they needed. $28,000. How much did a player take at the World Cup for appearance fee? $100,000 US. So, I mean, we are just a joke. After how many years of independence? We ration electricity, we ration water. Very soon we'll start rationing air. Yeah.
Rashida has gotten very emotional here. I guess I just have to calm her down by just taking her off here.
Quick information, yes, Gladys. You know, there's the AFCON tournament draw ongoing in Equatorial Guinea.
Yes, I hear that
the groupings are out. Okay. In Group A, that's where Ghana finds it. It hurts me that I'm going to talk about this, but I have to talk about it anyway because it's important. Group A is made up of host Equatorial Guinea. Ghana is there, Ivory Coast, and then Zambia. So Group A, Equatorial Guinea, Ghana, Zambia, and then Ivory Coast. Group B, Algeria, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Tunisia. Group C, Cape Verde, South Africa, Gabon, and DR Congo. And then Group D is Cameroon, Senegal, Guinea, and Congo-Brazzaville. All
right. So to catch up more on sports, do join us again at midday when we bring you news today. And Baba Tando will be right there to give you updates and keep you well informed, well posted on whatever is happening around us in sports. For more news, you could also log on to myjoyonline.com and you would catch up with lots of updates right there. My name once again is Gladys Osei Radio, and it's been a pleasure coming your way with this morning's edition of News Desk. Join us again at noon for News Today.